tonight. And I'm going to call Mr. Ketu Oladuwa to close us. Just a reminder, as you exit the building, there is 3 doors you can exit through. There's a door on the south side here, going down. There's another door down the other step on the south side, and there's a door on the north side. So make sure you proceed with caution. We do not have insurance for your broken leg.
Thank you, man. Thanks for keeping it real. Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. The first evening of our 4th season. It hasn't been easy, but it has definitely been rewarding. Thank you, Emmanuel, for that poem. I really appreciate you and Curtis as fellow wordsmiths, architect of consciousness. The poet is an unappreciated person in our culture unless you have star status. But it's the poets at the ground floor, the Adams and Rachels of the world, who keep it real, who bring us the images of real life, the Dodies and the Paulas of the world, who give us the images of our own lives. They're not the images of the besmirched 47%. They're not the images from the top of the tower, from the White House or Congress. And I understand that everybody in the room is an American, but forgive me, I don't have any respect for America. I have respect for the people of America, but I don't have any respect for America and its history and what it has done to poor people. I don't have any respect for that. I can't respect that because I'm a poet. In my heart, in my shoes, in my soul, in my gut, my ancestors whisper in my ear, "You're a poet, boy. Speak truth." So that's what I try to do. Sister girl, you got it going on. You got a talent. You have the ability to move people. You have the ability to touch them in their heart where they live. You're going to go far if you stay focused. Don't let the merchants take your talent and prostitute. Be a reason. Proem 1. And my poetry is not like storytelling, because I see the world in distorted images. I'm freakish like that. I see the world in disjointed pieces. Today, I went to a business forum today. Room full of black folks today who have their businesses. A wonderful gathering. 100 yards down the road, there was a line of people at 7:30 in the morning waiting on some food. waiting on a handout of food because maybe they didn't have no place to stay. And it was cold, and it was damp, and it was misty. But they were sitting outside on the concrete waiting for some folks with some food at the community harvest to open the doors so that they could feed them. But we're the 47% who don't count. Proem. Hooey. I have to find it. 1. Brick gashed forehead, a half inch above the right eye, now just a dent, a cooked up truth of blood and swollen, leaves fallen in storied years, a stitch of muscular memory stolen, reach back to call the dist stress, the flying brick that found its mark, a head too hard to crack. Mama said there'd be days, be real eyes, wizened, street thick, real lives too. Black boys cruise blocks, carouseled and laugh, shotgun deep, haunted, hunted, hypersexed on corners of nightmare convection. The 60s street, the pouting discontent, cheap wine poured libation from tilted elbows spilled into cracked macadam, belching anger, beseeching change, lamplights hung askew in the midst of mayhem. 3. Sleepy Tarrytown, Tappan Zee stretched walkway of suburban groan, crash of pawn, broke a glass, thick with cheap wine incantation and spilled blood, the song of revenge, hoarse in a young boy's throat, singing, someday we'll all be free. 4. Sojourn north to a North Star, to an execution on the east bank of the Hudson, upriver at the Crossing, when the young boy was 8 and awake, sheltered in the black night, cushioned in the arms of an ancient oak, cicadas chirping. Then the sirens howl, a bellowed land silenced, the Rosenbergs fried, and 100 other tortured deaths heard, the sacrifice ardor, the sacerdotal silence. Sing, sing, no song of solace. 5. And the black night knew black boys, speaking in whispers of burning flesh and singed teeth, their zip guns tucked in belts of lightning loosed to hold iron. 6. How come I up out this darkness? How came I up after the lockdown, me out and up after years of absence, the 5x9 hearse of dream, the 3-step stroll from toilet to bars, the engineered death, the weeks of years in pastel filth, cool, raw nerve, me and 8 men waiting on the executioner. 7. How came I up out of moonless shades of night, an awakened sun long lost in the dream of America, eyes blinded by the glitter, eyes wide now, eyes that dive headlong to see. Impressions. What a weird and unbelievably cruel destiny for those people who were first brought here. Leroy Jones, Amiri Baraka. one. Rising river, awaken the sacred bowed arm. I am wrought iron slung on electric shoulder. Tempered time steel behind bars, a hand-cut slingshot, stoned flight falling into murky brown water. I, the discharge, cranked to life. Mudded molten cement, creed, a feast of kaleidoscopic fear, greed, and the big muddy. 2. Faith swims in rivers of marrowed memory. Breath, a tomorrow full of movement. The breast-fed lean on minimum wage, labored, lanky labyrinth, defiled in the midnight neck of the river. 3. I saw her stretch her long brown limbs. A star burst between dark thighs, a pelvic falcon thrusting, sun in the black hole of midnight, middle passage, a space of no blank lines, stones in my pockets, an abyss of moss and mass and magic dew. I, straight razor, feeling, and funk. Eyes wide, the centuries gone, stillness panting, torn up and whip-scarred, disemboweled centuries, anonymous moments, moving monuments of tempered time. 4. Night falls into daybreak. I saw my mother bury me in the county poor ward. Another Negro held in place for poverty in peon-battered chains. Saw my 16-year-old mother place me in another woman's arms. Saw her reach, torch her pain for my sake. Her tears distilling bourbon. Heard the mention of my father's name, a swollen curse curdled. 2nd. 5. Women's strength, a brand growing in my chest. Women's strength shaped this black fist, seeing. I heard my absent grandmother scream her son's name. Her son ripped from her and set aflame. Led men leaping to a bloody claim in the county jail amid mimosa and scrub grass. Woman's baby shot dead, bled out on the jailhouse floor. Not even Attica could save my uncle from being dismembered. Anger and poverty and no job or negotiable skill. Life, his hustle, no cash flow, no agency. Just agents of the state always meddling. Agents who could not take the will to live human. Born in a drafty Mount Vernon Walker hallway. Dusty with hissing radiators and pissy stairs. A molten faith, born of John the Revelator. 6. Mothers worldwide losing sons to guns and Disney fantasies. Fortune without labor on the backs of the unnamed, privilege denied and bled blood at the root of nations. Savaged centuries, the white man's burden. Colonize and rule greedy killers, pimping democracy. 7. 2:45 a.m. Startled awake with an urgency not born of urination. A warm brown woman beside me. The familial smell of her love and my unyielding storm of unpaid bills and dollar poverty, killing fields and the cooling board. 8. Today, the black poor rising. Despite the black guy in the White House, 500 years of skull thuggery and bare bones. Is it Darfur? The smell of blood and women weeping? Is it Gaza? The siren exploding street? Is it Congo, Somalia, Florida, Afghanistan, Cuba, Bahia, Haiti? The 5-mile deep gold miners breaking head in South Africa? The scores of scoured, hungry, absent children's eyes? Is it Tibet? Students dropping in Tiananmen Square? Is it the IUDs in Baghdad? Or maybe James Byrd's America? Another nigger dragged to death in Texas? Or Avenue Louima, sodomized and beaten in a Brooklyn cop shop? Or Manding Amadou Diallo, shot dead in a Bronx vestibule in winter? Or maybe another me sent to death row to prop up votes for another pudgy politician. 9. 1,000 schoolhouse doors metal detected. Schoolhouse rock and Columbine. Children dumbed down, unable to identify Africa's West Coast or America the good. Their parents spent in long days hustling dimes, fast food junkies, TV slaves. Ah, the American dream. The megalomaniacal, can't we all just get along? Hell no, Rodney. 10. I rifle through dirty clothes stacked on the bedroom floor in this home that pain has bought but does not own, despite the blood price paid. 11. Outside my window, the chilly air. The back of my hand touches the window glass. A shiver quivers my spine. My mama steps through the veil. Mama, in whose arms I was placed at 3 months old. Mama's warm glow remembers me, calls me back from the discharged brown, murky water. Then mama retreats. I part my bedroom door and history opens. Ancestors walk the sea bottom. Tinkling colored glass swung from trees. Strong fruit swinging in southern pines. Bent backs whisper sweat. Step back to an Africa we remember forward. 12. Through the glass, my beautiful almond-eyed daughter, her tomorrow a right turn. Ancestors ride her left shoulder. Her smile engaged, a blue-white wisp of flame hammered on life's anvil. 13. My mother's gone, my daughter's here. I walk the tightrope between worlds, the afterglow of strong women, the fire of men whose flame is legend, whose coal still burn. I am father where there was none, lover born in the bed where hate was bred, a ritual runner barefoot in the river Sphinx. I am my mother's son. I break chains meant to constrain my children. I am wrought iron, slung on electric shoulder, father to the many, to the last. Ashe.
And if you wonder whether those were fiction or reality, that is his life. Absolutely and testament. Yep. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mrs. Miller. Thank you, Miss Miller. Thank you, the Miller family, the Church Miller family. We hope to see you on the 27th. We hope to see you at the next coffee house. Be looking for an announcement. And then thank you for your patronage today. We have a safe night. Thank you.